What's up, YouTube world? It's your boy J Dub, the #1 comment on YouTube, and I'm back with another review. Today I have a review slash rant, and we're doing Married at First Sight, and this will be the Katina and Olajuwon segment. For those who are not familiar with my channel, for Married at First Sight, I break the Married at First Sight reviews into individual couples. And as I said, if anybody caught it, it's a review slash rant because I got like a few choice words for Isaac because I'm really not liking what I'm seeing. So, the motto of this channel is say what you say. And I got a few things to say about that. So let's go ahead and get right into it for Katina and Olajuwon segment. They pick up where Katina and Olajuwon, they're talking in the kitchen, and they're just talking about like they've recovered from an argument from last night. And from what we saw, like they have cameras that are also in the apartment without somebody filming. And you can hear Olajuwon yelling, and he's telling Katina, he's saying, you worrying about things that don't affect me and things I don't give a F about, you can't even do what I ask you for, and you're troubling me. And I'm like I mean, from behind the scenes, I'm thinking like, okay, they had that type of argument. We talking about pretty much what it sounds like. That pressure he's putting on Katina. We talking about cooking, or I guess doing basic things, because he did bring up previously that Katina went to the grocery store and bought, I guess, 2 items. I don't know, again, was she just picking something up, or did she specifically go to the grocery store and get something to eat? We don't know what that is. And I mean, I understand that would be concerning because I guess Olajuwon is thinking, well, hey, maybe she went somewhere else, or she really just don't know how to grocery shop. And that part I don't buy, because even if Katina is eating out or cooking is not her fits in her lifestyle, she knows how to buy a pack of chicken or a pack of hamburger, I would think. I mean, that would be normal. However, like, all that is like overshadowed through Olajuwon's attitude. And even going through the meeting with like Pastor Cal, before we met Olajuwon, he's saying like, if a woman can't cook, she's not a wife. And Pastor Cal was saying like pretty much that kind of thinking, it never came up in the interview at all. He never asked for these things. So, we don't know who we're getting or what type of representative we getting. And I said it before, like, I piggyback off of one of Olajuwon's friends when they calmly pretty much told Katina, it's like, hey, he's going to try to mold you into what he wants you to be. And that was that was casual conversation. That was problematic in itself right there. She should have been alarmed, been on guard, or what have you, because now this is what we seeing, what they're talking about. Olajuwon is molding Katina to what he wants to be, and for order that to happen, he has to break her down. He has to strip her from the way she thinks and feels and gain control of her so she can do absolutely whatever he wants her to do. So that's what we're looking at right now. And everything now Isaac is getting into is more so it's just something that's derogatory about what Katina is or isn't doing. He's pretty much saying like, she's like not an adult, and he's like chastising Katina and asking her like, well, hey, well, tell me what's a wife to you? What does that mean to being a wife? And you can tell like Katina's like, she's keeping her composure, but you can tell she's like kind of nervous, or like she really don't want to have an argument about it, because to me Katina gives off a vibe where like she wants things to work or she wants to get along, but that pressure that Isaac keeps pushing and pushing and pushing, it's just getting worse. And like I said, to me, I thought from the previous episode that Katina was just, she was like more so defending Olajuwon just to the end, like he could do no wrong, when her friend was trying to just kind of like open her eyes about what was going on. Granted, I thought the friend came on too strong, but it was like Katina was following him blindly. And now it's making more sense. of what you do. Because now I even look back at some other episodes where like they're speaking, she's looking to him before she speaks. So that form is, I mean, it's just control in just a short time. Like he has her, and it's painful to watch. I felt like Danielle from Love Is Blind. I was like full of anxiety just watching it. Like it was triggering. It bothered me like really bad. And really Katina didn't have like a true answer for him. And I'm gonna say Olajuwon didn't have a true answer for what a wife is to be. And he even brought up this situation where, like, at the housewarming, how she didn't prepare the food or go get it and all of that. So he has a problem with like her effort in the marriage, and what his effort means, something that deals with domestic duties, not like communicating or getting along or being affectionate. None of that kind of stuff. Is about servicing the home. And he has a problem with Katina that she didn't prepare the housewoman for just directly. She called her friends and got them to bring something, and a large one went got like a 50-piece chicken or what have you. And he was pretty much saying like, well, after everything shut down, I was saying, let's clean up. And I guess Katina said, well, I just want to do half the floor. And that like pissed him off or what have you. And he's saying like, well, I need a wife who's going to support me, who's going to be there for me. Look what I did for you. I cleaned this floor. Like, so cleaning the floor is her job only, solely. So you see where his mind is, and like he's doing her a favor by cleaning the floor. Granted, there's nothing wrong with wanting your house clean and all those things. That's something they should talk about, or whatever system that they got. But he comes off like very entitled, like things have to be the way that he wants them to be without even it being understood. And not only that, he's like very forceful with it. He's aggressive with it. And in turn, on top of that, put on top that he is emotionally abusive with it, challenging her adulthood, pretty much saying just different stuff, more so like about her character or who she is as a woman or what it is to be a wife, when he hasn't even told her what his expectation is. And not that she's supposed to follow, but she doesn't even understand what the bar is, because it's all about putting a hot meal on the table every single day, keeping the house clean. And granted, Katina's not a housewife. She works too. So it's kind of blowing my mind just to see this, and that we have people who like believe like this is okay. Now, granted, who doesn't, I would say fairly enough, everyone individually or collectively should be able to know how to basically take care of themselves. When I mean basic needs, you should know how to cook something. You should know how to wash your clothes, clean up, all those things. Everybody has different experiences. But the thing is, Olajuwon's coming down so hard on Katina. Like, she's not even trying. And when we see Katina's like open and trying, and maybe she might be, some people might say she's a little ditzy, or she might not know things or whatever. But what you can't say is that she's not about making things work. And it's just like he's beating her down. And when I look at Olajuwon, like you can see his demeanor changes. Like he's not that fun-loving guy. And, it's like he gives off like a mean aura. And he's like irritated with her. It's like, I mean, like what's the next move? He already yelling, cussing at her. He gonna hit her when she not doing what she's supposed to do. I mean, it gets like that, and people think like, oh, they just having arguments. You got to look at the way he's communicating to her. Is in such a way where like he's superior to her. He's talking down to her. He's like down in who she is as a person, like taking her value away. And it's hard to watch. It's hard to watch. And I said, like through the I guess it was back in the Chris and Paige season, I said, I'm not even sure that I'm even gonna watch after that, because to me, Married at First Sight production is promoting this. Before, in the earlier seasons, when things got tough, they intervened. The experts, so-called experts, what I call them, they intervened much more quicker than they do now. When that first argument went down, he cussing at her, and talking all crazy to her. Pastor Cal should have been at that door at 9 a.m. trying to work through that and figure that out and saying like, hey, we watching you. We got this on camera. You can't operate like that. You putting all this pressure on this lady. You putting all these demands on her. If we knew you was like that, we wouldn't even pick you because you never even told us that. You know this. If she's a woman and she can't cook, she's not a wife. She's not a wife. Like, who would put up with that? But to me, they are part of the problem too. So I got a problem with Olajuwon and production. So it's just not looking good for Katina at all. Like she's in a mess. That's what I can say. She's in a mess. It's troubling because she don't look like she can work herself out of that. She's trying, and Olajuwon just applying more and more pressure. Like we're seeing a different type of guy. We were picking up. He was telling us who he was in the beginning, and we just had to listen. But now you can really see what's going on. I guess the representative has like just fell off, and Katina has an issue where like she doesn't want to make herself so vulnerable that I guess she's giving all herself into this, and that Olajuwon won't reciprocate or she'll get hurt in the end. And that's exactly what's happening in this situation. And now it's not about what can we do. You know, he used the word like, I helped you, clean the floor. That was your floor to clean. Or not what can we do or what can I do better to make things better. It's all about what Katina needs to do. And we are in the wrong space. It's not going to change. It ain't going to get better. He's going to create a bar that's going to go higher and higher and more expectations that she can't reach. We're not getting around it. Katina can't cook for real. She's not a cook. And whether her mother didn't teach her or like she said, she is used to ordering out. If they're going to do something different, there has to be adjustments and compromise. But the Olajuwon way, it's not like that. She's not a wife if she can't cook. And we see we in trouble. And it's like not so much even the big demands that he's doing, is the pressure he's putting on. And I'm really bothered by that. And Katina even like shared a previous story about like being vulnerable because Olajuwon pretty much said that her guard is up, and she's like, yeah, I got to keep my guard up just from like past experiences or whatever. He's like, yeah, you never cry or whatever. I'm thinking like, how often should somebody cry and you've only known them for what, a month? How many times have you supposed to seen her cry? But he's saying like more so at the wedding or anything. And she's just saying like that comes from a previous abusive relationship. Again, put a pin in that because I believe that they have paired them again for the perfect storm. The same way they did Noe and Steve. The same way they did Mark and Lindsay. Same way they did Jasmine and Michael. They wanted this to happen. They wanted this to come together. And it came together. She has dealt with a person who verbally abused her and then would, I guess, ridicule her about crying. So she refuses to cry in front of people because she doesn't want to be deemed as weak. And Olajuwon, he listened. He still, like I say, he looked like a different Olajuwon. I might just stop calling him Olajuwon just Isaac all the time. He just looking at him, well, yeah, you can't let somebody determine your future and all that by, going through negative experience. And he's like such a hypocrite because in the situation when they brought up, I guess, is what does it take for you to fall in love? And Olajuwon is like, oh yeah, well, I've been dealing with women and so many times they've promised things but never put any effort for it, so love doesn't come easy for me, so that's why I can't really fall in love like that. Didn't you just tell this lady, don't let what people do determine your future? So you talking about some ladies have disappointed you in the past and that affects the way you fall in love. That's what I'm saying. It's good for Katina to put them standards on her, but you won't accept it yourself. Like he's a hypocrite. I mean, it's a problem. And I try to calm myself so much. Like I don't get so up there on this because it's a TV show. I see what they doing, and It's a lot, but as I said, it keep going like this. I will have to make a stand and say that like I can't support nothing like this. That'll be just my personal choice. I know the YouTube world don't need me on that, but I can't keep doing it like that because it was a reason why I said I was going to stop participating in it because I already saw what they was doing, but now it's just gotten worse. So they want a page relationship on every marriage or whatever. They want somebody to be triggered and traumatized and all that kind of stuff. And I'm not with it. I'm not with it at all. So he pretty much again he's in that molding mode of Katina of what he's just giving her more things to reach for, more standards, and he's really not breaking it down for exactly what this what a wife needs to be to him. He can't even explain it to her, but he's just constantly coming at her with the standards that he believes that what a wife is to be. And Katina like kind of pretty much absorbed like everything that she said, like he said, and she just responds like, I got you. So, I know I'm supposed to cook and I got to do more things, keep the house clean and all that. And I'm like, yeah, he got you right where he wants you. And it's like I said, it's hard to watch. So on a lighter note, the men and the women, they go do like a hangout thing, the guys and girls day. The guys go out to the archery place and the ladies go for like a little day spa or whatever, get their nails done. And they're talking about their different marriages or what they've been experiencing. Katina says like, we all know she had trouble with Lindsay, and she's saying she want to take a more positive approach in dealing with Lindsay. She doesn't have a problem with her, and it's something that the way Katina's reacting to Lindsay, she has to manage her own triggers and be responsible for them. So I was like, yeah, I could appreciate that because she understands, regardless of what that thing she has in between Lindsay, it's not even worth getting into it or being nasty or whatever. And that's growth. And that's one good thing for sure I can say about Katina is that she tries, she wants to improve, she wants to do better. And I only can respect that. So as far as the marriage is going with Katina and Isaac, Katina tells the ladies like it's like the light switch keeps flickering on and off. They have it on and off days. It goes back and forth all the time, especially in the last 48 hours. She don't really get into like everything that they're going into. However, she said something that was a little concerning. She's more so, I don't know if she really feels that way, like she's bought into that system that Olajuwon is programming into her. She's pretty much saying Olajuwon is criticizing her. His criticism is putting like a mirror up to her so she can see like the things that she needs to do better. Even though she knew it inside that she needs to improve, he's just doing that to help her. And to me, she's like taking all the blame on herself. And I don't like her in that mindset. So Isaac, he's with the fellas and he's pretty much telling the guys he has to like baby Katina and like she just doesn't have any type of life skills. And he was like choked up. Like he was so frustrated and irritated. He was so irritated with her. And something else I didn't point out when Olajuwon was pretty much saying that he's not here to be here for somebody to grow and to get through things. And I'm thinking, again, how hypocritical is that when Katina has to knowingly, through you and your friend, telling her she has to put up with you throwing tantrums and all that. Tantrums is a term used for a child who can't control their emotions. So she got to put up with you with that and feeding you your ADHD medicine and all that stuff and your highs and your lows and all that. But you can't have patience with her because she's new to this lifestyle of being a wife. And it's just like it's all one-sided, but it's more so like Olajuwon, like he's playing the victim and he's not true to what he said or what he vowed to do when he got married. And that's the thing. I saw I saw through all of that of how he like just pledging his love and making all these promises and all that. People usually talk like that, especially early on. They can't hold up to that. They're trying to romanticize the situation and get you in a place where you open and trusting and all of that. But they have no intentions on following through with their words. And that's exactly what he's doing. So I was definitely on point with that. And pretty much he's saying Katina's efforts in the marriage is like super low. And she hasn't made any changes since the meeting with Pastor Cal. And I was like, wow. Just last episode, Lindsay has said that Pastor Cal didn't say nothing to her. I'm sure he made some suggestions for her, but for real, Pastor Cal knew how bad Olajuwon was, so that's why he was pretty much giving him all the criticism and asking him to make the change. So now it's Katina who was supposed to improve instead of him. He missed the point all the way around. And just something I'll point out, because again, this segment is for Isaac and Katina. Here we go. Michael, he likes to speak on their marriage all the time, when they get into confessions. I'm sure they asked him, but he gets so insightful with it and just saying like, they really need to hang in there. I hate to see that he's so hurt and he's at like a breaking point. I'm like, Michael, shut up. Get insightful on your own marriage, for real. Because before I even get into Michael and Jasmina's segment, but Michael's always asking for help. What do I do? What do I do? What do I do? Like a little kid. It's wise to ask for wise advice, but everybody, especially you're a grown man, can't tell you everything what to do. Like, what do I do? What are people like? Oh yeah, he's asking, he's learning. No. What do I do? He wants you to live his life for him and tell him exactly what to do as a man, and he's asking women at that for the most part. But okay, let me back off that one. So Olajuwon and Katina, they're going on a cooking date. And Katina's excited. She's thinking like this something cute and sexy for the date night or whatever. And she really don't know Olajuwon has a ulterior motive about that. Because it ain't no romance going on. Olajuwon is what he's grooming her. He's letting her know this is what I want. It ain't really for the date. And he's taking the fun out of the day, if you ask me. He's like criticizing through it. Like, well, yeah, you heard him, Katina. The man said when you're cooking, you don't take shortcuts. We don't take shortcuts. And he was saying like, well, if you can cook like this, like a chef, this is a professional. If you can cook like a chef, I'll give you 3 rings. I mean, it's exhausting. And he goes way over the top. This isn't the first time he did it. When he's telling me he's expecting this meal, this gourmet meal every single night. And he told Katina, hey, well, you never fed me on this level. He's constantly taking digs at her. That's to break her down. That's to chip away at that self-esteem. So he can build her into the Isaac doll of what he wants as a wife. And he really get down to it. He's like questioning her as a woman. He said he needs to know if she's enough woman for him on that level. And I'm like, I can't believe that, he's saying these things to her, and more so like, what's at, I guess the core of her, the base of her, like, is she an adult? And I'm like, okay, Olajuwon, if you got issues with Katina, it's ways to talk about them, even if they're not even real or something like that makes sense. But if it makes sense to you, he's not handling her properly. That's his wife. But he treating her like, I don't know what he treating like. He treating her worse than a dog, if you ask me. And I'm just, like I said, it bothers me even just like to cover this or even talk about this, because I don't get with all that verbal abuse and downing people, and it just bothers me. And he wants her to be exactly what he wants her to be. And Katina, she recognized it, but when she tries to explain herself, he constantly interrupts her, and you can see that she's not comfortable when she's talking. And she pretty much says, like, she's saying, like, I need a break. This is too much. She crying. You can see her crying. He ain't showing no concern or nothing. He keep going on with it and going on with it like it's okay. And she tell him like, hey, I'm not gonna be. You want me to prove myself to you, and I'm not gonna be like, yeah, I'm enough woman for you. And he's like, oh, I'm not asking you to do that. That's exactly what he's asking her to do, which is ridiculous and unfair. And he's telling her like, I'm saying these things, just to keep you grounded. Like, I'm like, where they get these clowns from? And I'm just really disappointed in him. I'm disappointed in Married at First Sight. I don't even want to see nothing like this. This ain't what I signed up for. I know I don't control the narrative, but this ain't fun. This is not fun. And what else can I say? All I can say, that's the end of that. As I say, they keep going on that. I'm gonna just put my hands up and say enough, because this is not it for me. It's not it for me. They was doing the same thing with Chris. Like, we supposed to be doing this for hoping to make matches and people fall in love and have a life and watch them navigate that. They on some other stuff. So, whew, I gotta take a breath for that. As I say, I appreciate y'all. Stay rocking with me. Get down in them comments. That's where I need y'all at. I need to hear y'all from y'all. Help me make some sense of this. Or not, I don't even think you can make sense of it, but tell me what you think. Maybe you can help me see this in a different way or something, because I just see this as all bad. So again, get down in them comments. Let me know what y'all think. Again, I appreciate y'all rocking with me. And as I always say, y'all could be anywhere in this YouTube world, but you're here with me. I really appreciate it, and I really mean it. Be on the lookout for the next couple. I don't know which one I'm going to do. I got to take a break.